Hi guys, this is GSMDome.com and I'm here with the unboxing of the Realme 14 Pro Plus. It's a very interesting smartphone which changes colors when the surrounding temperature drops below 16 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the price should be around $500. There is also a regular Realme 14 Pro which is more affordable. This is what the smartphone looks like. As you can see for yourself, this is white, pearl white. It becomes blue once the temperature changes. And these are the triple flashes I mentioned. You can actually change their temperature. Okay, the phone has already been turned on to save us some time. We're here in a hotel room in Barcelona, Mobile World Congress. Let's check it out, see what's inside the box. First of all, we have this cable going from USB-C to USB-A. We're dealing with a smartphone which has a periscope camera, by the way. Even though it's a mid-range handset, that's pretty impressive, and a pretty large battery, 6000 mAh. This is a key used to access the slots, only nano SIM. These are the manuals. We have here realme information and as well as the quick guide. And this is a case which is flexible and dark gray. Okay, and this is the phone itself. We're done with everything available inside the box. Now, it's IP66, IP68 and IP69 certified. You can dunk it in up to 2 meters of depth for 48 hours. 2 meter depth in water. It resists high pressure, hot water jets. That's pretty cool. It's got military grade protection for daily drops. And the thickness is 8 or 8.3 millimeters. It's got Gorilla Glass 7i at the front side for the screen protection, just so you know. So that's design wise. Okay, so other things worth mentioning is that we have a plastic bag and also a plastic frame, if you wonder about the materials, and the weight is 194 or 196 grams depending on the version you're buying. It's military standard 810H, that's the certification we have here. I'm talking about military certification and resilience. The back is slightly rounded so you can grip it properly in your hand. We have a flat screen at the front, well, not totally flat, slightly curved to the side. The regular Realme 14 Pro is more curved screen-wise and has narrower bezels. Thanks to the Valeur designs, this is the collaboration that made the phone possible with this special back. It's got a thermochromic back panel which can change color to blue if exposed to cold. The phone also comes in gray or purple with a leather imitation backside. Now, as far as the screen is concerned, the panel that we're getting here is obviously of the OLED variety. It's quad curved. It's got 1.6 millimeter thickness for the bezels. It's a pretty large 6.83-incher OLED that shows 1 billion colors and has a 120 Hz refresh rate, up to 1500 nits of brightness and 2800 over 1242 pixels, excuse me, 1272 pixels. Now the processor inside this handset, it's quite powerful. It's a Qualcomm Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 4 nanometer, the same one which you would be able to find on a Redmi Note 14 Pro Plus. It rivals that model. Okay, so let me just maybe install the IDA app so I can show you more. Okay, so aside from the Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 4 nanometer processor octa-core, we also get 8 gigs of RAM, but there's also a version with 12, and you can add up to 14 gigs extra and get 26 gigs of RAM from the storage. And the phone comes with 120, 256 or 512 gigabytes of storage. I have that one, the latter one, with a lot of storage. And we also don't have a micro SD, just in case you were wondering. Here you can see the CPU, I just mentioned 7S Gen 3, and here you can see the other resources, which I mentioned, the RAM and the storage. Now, the battery is a pretty important one, a silicon carbon battery with a large capacity of 6000 mAh. So if you go here and go battery, 6000 mAh with 80 watt wired charging, you can go to 50% in just 24 minutes. Pretty cool, right? Now, as far as the phone is concerned, we have stereo speakers, one's at the bottom, and I think that the top one is the earpiece, if I'm being honest, and there's no audio jack. And for security, we have an in-display fingerprint scanner, which is supposed to be pretty snappy when unlocking the phone. Now, on the connectivity front, there's 5G, there's Wi-Fi 6, there's Bluetooth 5.2, GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, BDS and QZSS, and even NFC. And NFC being available at 360 degrees, so all around the phone you can do something like this or like this to make payments with it, courtesy of that NFC feature. Now, aside from that, we have an USB-C 2.0 port at the bottom side, and camera-wise, you have this cutout here the front is a 32 megapixel shooter with autofocus, 4K capture, f2.0 aperture, while the back side hosts 3 sensors. So we have the main 50 megapixel camera with f1.8 aperture and optical image stabilization with multi-directional phase detection autofocus. This one is a Sony IMX896 sensor with 2x lossless zoom. Then we have a kicker, the periscope telephoto 50 megapixel camera with f2.7 aperture. It's got 3x optical zoom, OIS, and multi-directional PDAF. It uses the Sony IMX882 sensor. Finally, there's an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera with f2.2 aperture and 112 degrees, and a special, included here, a special color spectrum sensor. We have a triple LED flash, 1, 2, 3. This one can actually alternate colors. You can change the colors of the flashes. You can also change the intensity of the flashes, and I'm going to show you how. So you go into the camera interface, you select here portrait, but you can also select the regular one, and you just choose. You have deja vu here. It's a special calibration of the flashes, or retro. It changes the way the colors look, but you can also do that yourself. So if you go here to the photo, and if you go to the flash, and if you go to the fill light, you can adjust the warmth. So as I'm doing this, you should feel a difference in the color, the warmth. You can adjust the brightness. This is definitely the brightest, this is the lowest brightness. So yeah, haven't seen this before on other smartphones, so it's a cool feature if you don't want to bring a ring light with you. Aside from that, we have features here like Pro mode, panorama, high resolution, slow-mo. There is even a special underwater mode capture. There's the portrait area, photo and video as well. So yeah, pretty cool features. I'm probably going to have to deactivate the flash now. There's also a street photography mode with some pretty interesting focal lengths. This one is a huge one, 144mm is huge for a mid-range handset out there. There's even a night mode if you want to take night shots. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Aside from that, I should probably mention that there's 3840 Hz PWM dimming. So if you want to get rid of the screen flicker, there's that. There's also a very large vapor chamber inside, and this vapor chamber helps the phone being kept cool when you're doing the gaming, and also other features which I'll mention in a minute. So for example, I should tell you that the periscope camera gives you 6x lossless zoom. That's why you have here the 1x, the 2x, the 3x, and finally 6x. This is lossless zoom, once again, thanks to AI and other such technologies. You can go up to 120x zoom, which is pretty impressive in my book, and the flash is called Magic Glow. Now, on the OS front, this is actually realme UI 6.0. Here we are in Europe, so we don't know how many years of Android updates we're going to get. In India, they're getting 2 years of Android updates. Now, we're getting a phone manager here, used for viruses and risks, payment protection, and other such things. We have a sidebar here with a file dock, and you can actually drag and drop here. For example, if I want to drag and drop a photo and send it to someone in an application, I keep pressed here, and I drag it like this, and I'd send it to the file dock, photos, Facebook, Google, or even print it if I want to. That's a system which is similar to the one that Honor had with the Magic Portal. There are also experimental features, but before that, you have Gemini available here. You can ask it questions and have it do homework for you, like write poetry and things like that. You can also generate images, and if you keep pressed here, you should be able to do the circle to search thing and search for something online, or recognize songs, or translate whatever is on the screen. There are also other AI features included here. So for example, I can remove people from the photo if I want to. So if there's this photo here, I can press edit, and I can do AI eraser. I can also do AI ultra clarity, which is sort of a remasterization of the photos. Eraser in general will be able to just, well, circle people and remove them by being recognized with AI. Okay, so that's pretty cool, I would say. We've seen it on other handsets as well. So yeah, AI eraser, AI ultra clarity, and the periscope camera and the flash. So I would say it's a phone for influencers who do a lot of traveling in colder areas and want to see the cool backside here changing colors. That's about it from GSMDome.com. We'll be back with more pretty soon.